Football Queensland's coverage of the 2019 NPL, NPLW and FQPL season is brought to you by IFCA, Australia's only national football-specific coaching conference, 25th and 26th of May on the Gold Coast. Get your delegate pass today at ifcca.com.au. Play football. Join the team today. Visit playfootball.com.au to find your nearest club. Football Foundation, making football more accessible for every income, every gender, every ability, every background, every Indigenous Queenslander. Donate today.
Football Queensland wants to see your skills.
Make sure you hashtag #YeahTheGirls.
Yeah, the girls!
Yes, girls on three. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the girls!
Football Queensland's
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever in the world you may be tuning in from. I'm Darren Lutton and welcome to Wakeley Park for this round 3 fixture between two of the big guns of the competition. It's South United up against the Gap. It's a lovely cool evening with just a gentle breeze blowing across the ground. This is, of course, the final match of round 3. All the other matches were played on the weekend. This game got rescheduled due to the small matter of the Matildas playing Korea on Sunday night. What an exciting game that was and a big result. Let's quickly run through the team sheets as the players are about to enter the field. So for the home team, South United. Number 1, Chloe Cole. Number 3, Brooke Goodrich. Number 2, Tioni Rushton. Number 4, Bronte Rose. Number 6, Billy Murphy. Number 9, Sydney Dooley. Number 10, Amy Chapman. Number 12, Louisa Marmion. 13, Taylor Stevens. Number 19, Amber Sims. And number 7, Aisha Norrie. On the bench, Alexander Hoyne, Amy Morland, Hannah Lane, Tiani Karaluka and Hannah Sito. For the Gap, in goal, Ellie Chappell. Number 2, Hayley Riccardi. Number 6, Lainey Fryer. Number 7, Talitha Doro. Number 9, Sian Fryer. Number 10, Kim Abbott. Number 15, Ruth Blackburn. Number 17, Sarah Miller. Number 8, Lane Sunderland. Number 21, Tiffany Dibley. And number 5, Chloe Robertson. On the bench, Lauren Butler, Liz Doherty, Tatiana Timmins, Tierney Sunderland, and Rebecca Steele. Our Total Tools referee this evening is Daisy Kuipers. The assistants, Callum Harvey and Jacob Tunks. South United would like to thank their major sponsors, AMJ Metal Roofing and Highway Fasteners. Now, I'm not performing alone tonight. I've got a co-commentator with me. It's a big welcome for her NPLW debut to Kerry Hammersley. Kerry, welcome.
Thank you, Darren. Delighted to be here, particularly during Female Football Week as well. Great week to have my commentating debut.
For sure. Now, we understand that you've just got back from travelling all over the state with the minibus tour.
That's right. Such a fantastic tour. We've been all over the state. We've got the third stint to go in southwest Queensland, and there's just momentum gaining after each session we deliver. So we've had lots and lots of great feedback. It was awesome to deliver coaching courses parallel to the kids' clinics as well, so that parents could get something out of it whilst their kids enjoyed playing.
For sure, and anyone who was looking out on Instagram will have seen that plenty of fun was had by all.
Indeed, that's what it's all about.
All right, we're just about underway here at Wakeley Park. In fact, we are underway. It's Souths United in the green and white hoops. Of course, the Gap in their purple and yellow strip. Anyone who's familiar with the competition in this area will be very familiar with both of these sides. Souths United had a few issues at the end of last season. There was rumours of a few monetary issues, but Gary French has done a great job in retaining his squad. The only player of real note that he lost was Sophie Passion to Lions. And of course the Gap, who are the club with the biggest upheaval of all. Coach Rob Akers, after 25 of the past 26 years as the head coach, decided to seek past his new and is set up at Lions.
Quarter of a century coaching, that's pretty impressive.
It certainly is, and he's certainly done a wonderful job building up the program at Walton Bridge Reserve. And of course have a new coach, Gary Ward. He is a Kiwi, but he's certainly been with the Gap for a few years now. Understand you've had a little bit to do with him, Kerry?
Gary was involved in the state system last year with the girls, so had the pleasure of going away to Coffs Harbour and getting to know Gary a little bit. Yeah, so it's great for the game.
Both teams just looking to settle into a rhythm at the moment. Well, the play in the middle of the field with the ball very hard to keep. And we've got the first infringement of the game. Amy Chapman is fouled. One of the interesting things that we'll note about the Gap is that they're playing with a new system. Gary Ward has decided that he's going to stamp his authority on this team, and they're actually playing with a 3-5-2 system, so that'll be interesting to see how that goes. This free kick comes in. Properly dealt with by the defence, but they're able to sort it out. Marmion. Again, no whistle. The Gap are able. It's a tough ball to win at the moment. Great intensity to the start of this match. Abbott will survey her options.
Always takes a few minutes to settle into the game. Quite typical of the first 5 minutes. It's lots of turnovers.
Play down the left-hand side now. Running into the box. There's still players there. That's Bodie.
Lots of space on the right wing here.
Correction, that's Doro. Of course, Greta Bodie isn't on the team sheet tonight. So used to her being in the front line at the Gap. Now, Kerry, you're the female participation officer at Football Queensland. Have I got that job title correct?
I started out as female participation officer, but it was actually a name change, so my title is now Women and Girls Development Officer.
Good chance there for the Gap. Good save from Chloe Cole, who got down low. Got down quickly. It was a first good chance of the match.
Just opening up, first touch forward. Looking down to the right wing, beautiful ball. Where's the support?
Still there for the gap. Blackburn. It comes out wide now. The good cross in. Still not out of danger. Still in the box. South players scrambling to clear.
Ooh,
and the long range attempt comes in just over the bar.
Left foot. I'm really enjoying being above here, getting a bird's eye view. Great to see the off-ball movement just being that little bit higher.
This is one of the few grounds where we do have an elevated position.
Luxury.
It is a luxury. Particularly when it's you're trying to identify players on the far side of the field. You are, of course, tuning in via Facebook Live or possibly our YouTube channel. Let us know where you're watching this game from. We might give some of you a shout out during the game. If you're watching the game on a mobile device and you've got those comments coming through and you're finding them a little bit annoying, all you need to do is swipe right. That will remove them from the screen. If you wanted to make mention of the play, all you need to do is swipe left and that'll bring those comments back.
Daisy Kuipers is our centre referee tonight. She's into her 6th year of reffing, being a 2nd year in the NPLW system. I was talking to her at the beginning of the game and her highest achievement was reffing at Nationals last year. It's great to hear she's got some female role models to look up to in the likes of Casey Rebolt and Laura Lee. And she feels very supported as well, which is always good to hear. Not an easy gig refereeing.
So I've heard. Yes, we've got some tremendous refereeing talent in this state. Looks like the corner flags are being changed here at the minute. We might have used the training ones. Had the training ones out and I have to say I don't see anything. Oh, there are no corner flags. There you go. The assistants have missed a trick there.
Give the players a few minutes to reflect on the opening 5 minutes of the game.
That's quite the oversight. I have to confess we didn't notice either, did we, Kerry?
I was actually looking at the Rebel Female Football Week flags. Maybe they got confused.
Now Chloe Cole will get the game back underway. Just a couple of minutes in, we now have corner flags. We have a regulation football match. Marmion's unable to clear. Thrown for South United. Gapper getting plenty of numbers in around the contest. Marmion looking to go down the line.
Good tackle.
Strong challenge from Chloe Robertson. So tell us a little bit about the trip, Kerry. What were the some of the things that you got up to with the sessions? You had the big inflatable fields out?
So we had the inflatable field. There were 4 coaches in total and we utilised the new technical development managers as well within each zone. So we worked on a rotation basis, all game based, but there was lots of hidden learning and skills enjoyed by the kids along the way, and a lot of the parents that actually picked up there's a lot of learning involved, but the kids don't necessarily know because they're there purely having fun, getting lots of touches on the ball and actually learning through play, which is what it's all about in the discovery phase.
Shot from Miller goes wide.
What was fantastic was there was opportunities and exposure for parents and coaches to take part in a grassroots coach education course as well, whilst the clinic was going ahead, so their kids were looked after and they could utilise the coaching sessions that were delivered at the same time.
Chapman and Abbott is going to be one of the more interesting contests this evening.
Did well to get there.
Gap trying to work down the right-hand side.
Space in the middle.
Friars cross, straight into the box. No problem for Cole. Quite a few players here from last season's NPLW winning team, the Raw NTC. They're now called the Raw QAS. We've got Ellie Chappell, the Fryer twins. A lot of the graduating class have spread out throughout the competition. They'll bring that fantastic experience of a grand final victory to their respective clubs. Murphy settling play down. South look to work down the right-hand side. There's Ruth Blackburn with the through ball. Straight to Cole. Gap players are going to have to get used to playing on this slick surface. This is, of course, the only artificial pitch in the region. Certainly in the competition. I understand UQ have got one. Actually, now that I say that, Kerry, I can think of all the other grounds that have got artificial pitches. North Brisbane have got one, and I understand Mitchelton are about to develop one themselves. Something to look forward to. So perhaps in next year's competition, we'll have 2 synthetic pitches for the players to play on. Gap now have a corner. Letha Doro runs over to take that. "12 minutes in. Corner comes in.
Managed to get ahead now.
Miller gets a touch. Thought there was a whistle there, but seemed to be from one of the other practice games going on around us. Sam Murphy's commented about your accent, Kerry.
Sam Murphy.
That's the one.
My English accent. I've been here for 8 years now and I've still not managed to shake it.
Sam Murphy's, of course, a former FQ employee. Chance now for Souths. This is Rushton. And Rushton gives away the free kick.
Tioni Rushton's actually one of our QAS coaches as well. It's great to see that we've got coaches that are playing the highest level in the game here.
Tioni was a revelation in the competition last year. Her first season in the NPLW, and she certainly made her mark. Plenty of goals and almost just as many assists.
I've actually got a few coaches out here. Liz Doherty's also involved in the QAS.
Just been advised that Sam Murphy's back on the payroll.
He sure is. Great to have him back.
Sam Murphy's one of those people that if you're Facebook friends with him, you'll see that he shows up in all parts of the world, working wherever he goes and going to matches across the planet.
I wonder whether he's been to the City Ground. It's a stadium and a half. Nottingham Forest's home ground.
There we go, Sam. Maybe you can reply in. Back to the match here. It's still 0-0. These teams seem to be cancelling each other out quite well at the moment.
Yeah, it's not one team dominating at the moment.
These two teams have a history of having a real arm wrestle. There's normally not too many goals separating the two sides.
The Gap are very quick to apply the pressure there, making it difficult for Souths to play out.
Both these teams come into tonight's round with undefeated records. In fact, after 2 games, Souths have scored 20 goals with none conceded. So they've got off to a flyer. Tonight's their first real test. Abbott almost left the ball behind.
Dangerous losing the ball there, right in front of goal.
That deep cross. Looking for Dooley, who's the American import for South United this season. Gary French has a history of getting left-sided attacking players as his import. And she's got off to a good start to the competition, scoring plenty of goals. There's about 3 from memory.
Good proactive play from the Gap, trying to play forward wherever possible.
Back to Chappell. The last couple of clearances have been under pressure. This time she's got a little bit of time. However, possession is back with Souths. Pass almost getting in behind the defence. Miller. Again, South's able to just lock the ball in their attacking third. Chappell electing to go to the open side with the throw. But again, the Gap unable to retain possession. Not something that we're used to from the Gators. Normally a side that will dominate possession in a game.
Managed to switch play here, so much space.
Gap are able to win it back. Riccardi just clears. This will give the players a chance to catch their breath. They've had plenty of work to do so far in this game, Kerry.
We're going to have some very, very tired legs if it continues like this, hoping that they settle down soon. Be a great time to mention that IFCA, Australia's only national football specific coaching conference, is here in May on the 25th and 26th on the Gold Coast. You can get your delegate pass today at ifca.com.au.
Thanks for that, Kerry, doing advertisements. Excellent, it should be a great conference. Heaps of big name signings are being announced every week.
Sure are.
As this corner comes in, plenty of purple shirts to get in the way. But yet again, the Gap are unable to retain possession.
Lots of time.
I'd be very interested to know what Gary Ward thinks of how his side's going at the moment.
It's interesting that a lot of the Gap's play seems to be down the left-hand side. Just trying to encourage them to look up. So there seems to be a lot of space again down this right-hand side here.
Play stops here. Talitha Doro ran into the fence. I thought...
Is that what the big bang was?
I thought she was just letting out a little bit of frustration, but she just mustn't have seen the fence. Looks like she's going to be okay.
Nice little flick on there.
Again, a tough ball to win. So 20 minutes into this game, it's still 0-0. This is Football Queensland's presentation of the NPLW.
I still find it hard watching football, Darren.
What do you find hard about it?
I want to be out there running around.
I see. Understand you had quite the playing career yourself, Kerry.
I certainly enjoyed playing in England, and then more social aspects of it since moving to Australia and having 2 little girls. Obviously my commitments change, but still thoroughly enjoy being involved in the game in other capacities. So many other options other than playing to be involved.
Of course, if you do have children or even yourself, you're interested in joining a team, I've seen on the various forums that there are places available. A few odd spots here and there for particular players in particular positions. Mm-hmm. If you are interested in still playing this year, just a little ring around for your local clubs. I'm sure they'll be able to find a team for you. Of course, you could ring the Football Queensland officers, and I'm sure they will go out of their way to find a place for you in a team.
Could even play and have your kids playing alongside in a Mini Roos kick-off program. Win-win all round.
Sounds good. Riccardi going for a run. Play gets cut out. Blackburn with the expert touch. Of course, this Gap team with Rob Askew switching clubs, there was the fear that he would cherry pick the best players from the Gap, but that hasn't occurred. The only players that are at Lions this season are former Gap players who had last year off. So it's been great to see that they've retained the quality of their squad with just a few departures. Of course, Jess Dillon going to Moreton Bay United, and Tian Petterwood going back to Logan.
Jess Dillon featured in the Girls video as well again this year. It was great to see her back.
Yes, it's a good little promotion there by Football Queensland. Of course, Lions were featured in the video last year.
Moreton Bay United this year.
Looks like that ball's gone a bit flat, so they've called for a new one.
Very composed on the ball there.
Play from Doro. Gabba finally starting to get a little bit of possession. Stringing a few passes together.
Feel the momentum building. Sensing there might be a goal sometime soon, Darren.
Yes, if you make... One thing I've learnt in this game, Kerry, is that as soon as you make predictions, you'll get proved wrong straight away.
Sorry if I've just jinxed that.
Yes, we've just got a 0-0 on our hands now.
Sorry, guys. Again, coming out wide to the byline here. There we go.
This is more like the Gap that we're used to seeing, respecting their possession.
Oh, did well there.
Fryer. Miscued her pass. Good work again from Doro. She's probably been one of the feature players for the Gap so far in this game. Did a lot of her work on the left-hand side last season. She looks to be playing much more centrally this year. Taylor Stevens getting the run in central defence tonight. Very surprised by that. I thought Alex Hoyne would have got the call up. I thought she was a rock in the team last year.
You can see the Gap really starting to settle into
Here's an opening now for the Gap. Again, Cole out quickly.
Great passage of play there. Five passes strung together and a nice through ball. Well out from the keeper.
Chloe Robertson with the opportunity. But again, fast work from Chloe Cole. Dooley loses out. Now wins back possession. Tries to get past Riccardi. Blackburn doing the tidying up. South United have a corner. Lovely cool evening here at Wakeley Park. Looks like autumn is making an appearance after the horribly hot summer that we've had. That corner comes in. Gap are able to clear.
Managed to find a Gap player there.
Riccardi loses out to Chapman. A deep ball for Rose to tidy up. Back for Rose. It looks long. Could work out well.
South seem to be communicating a little bit more now. I can hear lots coming from the pitch and the sidelines.
Again, unexpected play from the Gap. You'd expect them to go for the lateral pass. Electing to go through the middle.
Not a lot of support there.
Abbott. Dibley. McLennan. And back now for Riccardi. He's got plenty of time to survey our options. Straight down the line for Doro. And South looking to go quickly. This is Rushton. She had Dooley and Chapman in the middle. Couldn't find them. Solid defence from the Gap.
Such a great game for the neutral, Darren. Can't decide who's got that edge at the moment. It's end to end.
Yeah, both these teams seem pretty well matched, as we'd expect. Pretty hard to gauge their form coming into this game. South, of course, have scored plenty of goals, but the Gap have certainly played against tougher opposition. Gap are able to clear.
Let's turn inside there.
Now an opportunity to turn
She's
around.
managed to find the only striker.
Again, strong defence from South United. Marmion's pass, though, only as far as McLennan. This is Fryer.
Support of Two running in.
Fryer with the deep cross, just over the bar. Chloe Cole looked a little bit worried there for a moment.
She could almost claim that as a shot there, I think.
You always claim it as a shot when it goes in. Don't forget to follow Football Queensland on Instagram and Facebook for the latest football news and events across the state. Cole goes long with a deep kick. A flick on by Dooley. He surrenders possession to Chappell. That ball runs harmlessly out of play. Getting cut out, Abbott. South with a little bit of space here. The shot from cross from Dooley. Couldn't find Rushton. So it looks like the best opportunities of this game have come from opposition mistakes. Both teams going hell for leather. There was a prediction earlier on that one of the reasons why Souths are so successful at home is that dealing with this pitch, that opposition teams, they run out of legs after about 70 minutes. We've seen some teams in this competition have done fantastic pre-seasons. Gary French was telling me a little earlier that that this South United team have been playing against their trial games against boys, against some under 15 NPL sides. That's certainly got their fitness up. I know that when former Matilda's coach Alan Stajic visited last year, he was encouraging all the teams to, in their weeks off, to organise trial games against the boys. I think that with the Raw NTC team last year, they certainly benefited from that experience as that corner comes in, headed away by Blackburn. Another deep cross across the face of goal. Chapman. There's neither a cross nor a shot.
Might catch them on the counter-attack here now.
South have got plenty of numbers back. Here's an opportunity. Good scrambling defence. Important touch from Billy Murphy. Another long ball from Cole.
Sneaking in. Hassling.
Rushton unable to win that time. It's another warning sign there for the gap. It's the second time that we've seen South United try that. Wonder if they'll continue with it. So of course, Souths have an electric front line. A lot of pace. Chapman. Marmion. Back to Rose, who looks to go long.
South's defence are looking quite composed under pressure.
Yes, one of the South strengths are their defence. Last season they had issues putting teams away, but they've shown already this year with the 9-0 and an 11-0 win that may not be an issue for them this year. Rose again tidying up. Ball goes back for Cole. What do you make of the way that South United are spread out on the field, Kerry?
Certainly when they're in possession, they're utilising the space, but the gaps seem to be straight onto them, applying that pressure quite quickly, so they've not got as much time on the ball as they'd like.
Murphy goes out wide for Rushton. Appeals for handball. And they're going to get that decision.
What's really good about South's quite noticeable. As soon as they lose possession, they adopt and they get compact really quickly, make it difficult for the gap to get through.
Yeah, they're maintaining excellent shape in this game. Looks like the Gap are still struggling with this 3-5-2 formation. They haven't quite come to grips with it yet.
If they've played a certain way for a long time, it takes a little bit of time and dedication to change things up, but if you don't try, you'll never know.
Free kick into the box. Chappell got down low to make the save. So that's another shot on target.
Tierney hassling again.
Gap playing with fire there. And Abbott using all of her experience. Now the Gap look to work down the left-hand side. We've got a second ball on the field. We may see play held up. Yes, we will. It's normally a drop ball in this situation, isn't it, Kerry?
It is, yes. Saying before that there's 3 of the women playing tonight actually took part in the female-only C licence late last year. So we had 27 coaches on that, which was a national record. And some great coaches coming through the ranks.
Ball cut out well there by Marmion. Yes, in this NPLW, there aren't too many female coaches. It would be great to see a few more rise through the ranks and be prepared to take on the big jobs.
Certainly starting to develop a network. Not forgetting that we need the support of male champions, boys and men that champion women in sport. There are many out there.
Chance now for the Gap. Shot comes in, blocked by Cole.
Another corner.
Well, it's a pretty simple play across the field there by the Gap. Just some hard running created the opportunity. Doro comes across to take the corner. Near post ball. Not cleared. Shot blocked. Back for Riccardi. Dibley.
Such a close game.
Down the line, this is Doro again. Doro gets across. South's defence are there in numbers. Riccardi unable to control the ball, but she gets a second chance. This is Blackburn.
It's always reassuring knowing you've got a strong defence behind you, supporting you.
Both these teams have very well drilled defences. Plenty of experience. Kim Abbott joined the Gap last season and absolutely wowed her teammates with her performances. Up in play here. Just running through the Gaps form coming into this game. They round one, the 3-2 win over Logan. It was a last-minute winner in that game, and big 5-0 win at home last week to Mitchelton.
A bit of a dummy there.
That shot comes in straight at Chapel. Ishinori with that attempt. Just coming up to the 40-minute mark of this game. It's still 0-0. Plenty of half chances for both teams. Certainly an even contest. Really enjoying the contest between the Gap defence and the South attack. We've got a three-player defence and three-player attack, so they're pretty much one-on-one contests, and the midfield of the Gap are having to do plenty of work to get out, get deep and support. Another set piece here for South United.
Amy Chapman stepping up to take the free kick.
South's committing a few numbers forward.
Great ball.
A good ball in and just wide. That might have been Billy Murphy with the header. In fact, it was Brooke Goodrich. Brooke's back from a successful season with the LA Galaxy. She left last season to go and join that team. There's a chance now for Souths. Players go down. No decision. And referee Kuipers. And South United have a corner. So yes, Brooke Goodrich had a good season with the LA Galaxy last year. She's going back over to the United States in a month. She's got a college scholarship. So enjoy her in this competition over the next 4 weeks before she departs. Great to see opportunities in this game for players to expand their horizons and get all around the world. Norrie. Crosses blocked. South United have another corner.
Wonder if we'll get a goal before half time. It's always great just to score before you go into the changing rooms psychologically.
There's certainly been opportunities at both ends, but as the ball comes across the face of goal, cleared by Blackburn. Bronte Rose lining up across, it turns into a shot that goes straight to Chapel. Gap looking to go short. That ball runs out of play. Gap have the throw. Doro. Blocked out, but play on's the call. The through ball goes straight all the way through to Ellie Chapel. Another opportunity here for Souths. Norrie She line up a shot. Elects to pass. Murphy trying to get past two defenders. She eventually loses out. It's probably been the feature of this first half, Kerry. The defending from both teams has been excellent.
Making it very difficult for the attackers to break through. Most of the opportunities have not actually been created. They've just come from nothing, really.
I think both coaches, if they were to tweak things at halftime, they might ask their players just to spread out a little bit more in possession. Try and create some open space. Having said that, there have been a couple of half chances. Here we go again. Cleared again by Souths.
It's just the instant pressure that's applied as soon as they lose possession.
Definitely a hard ball to win and maintain.
Be interesting to see whether they could keep that up the longer we go on into the game. It becomes very tiring. We've got to choose when to hold off and when to apply the pressure. Otherwise we just exhaust ourselves.
So we're into injury time of this first half. There shouldn't be too much injury time. I can only think of Talitha Doro running into the fence. And that second ball coming onto the field, so there can't be too much, weren't too many stoppages in this first half.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall in the changing rooms for the half-time talks.
We are right next to the change rooms, Kerry, so maybe you can go and...
Open the windows.
Yeah, there's an open window there as well, so maybe you can go and have a sticky beak. And come back with some hot information on how the team's going to attack this second half. Amy Chapman. Rushton. Switched over to the left-hand side for this play. Rushton trying to get around Robertson.
Did well to stay on her feet there.
Manages to keep the ball in. It's back to Rushton. Now Norrie. Cleared by the gap defence. Solid sliding challenge. Now the Souths with perhaps the last opportunity of this half. Cross comes in. It's a little bit too deep. No United players taking a risk. And there it is. It's an action-packed first half, but no goals to show for either team. Plenty of half chances at both ends, but defence has certainly been the winner in this half. So after the first 45 here at Wakeley Park, it's South United 0, the Gap Gators 0. Don't go away, we'll be back shortly with the second half.
For White, breaks into the penalty area, 1-0 Olympic!
95 minutes in, and Sean Carlos...
Ball right into a dangerous area, and the ball is in the back of the net!
Why do I play football?
Why do we play football? I play for fitness.
For competition.
Community spirit. It's healthy and safe.
And fun.
I play for celebration.
What's your reason? Join our team.
swear a lot at Total Tools. We swear by our range. We swear by our service. And of course, we swear by our prices. So you'll know that you're buying at the best price every day. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
For White, breaks into the penalty area, 1-0 Olympic!
95 minutes in, and Sean
Ball right into a dangerous area, and the ball is in the back of the net!
Why do I play football?
Why do we play football? I play for fitness.
for competition.
Community spirit.
It's healthy and safe. And fun.
I play for celebrations.
What's your reason? Join our team.
We swear a lot at Total Tools. We swear by our range. We swear by our service. And of course, we swear by our prices. So you'll know that you're buying at the best price every day. Total Tools. Every tool, every trade.
Why do I play football?
Why do we play football? I play for fitness.
For competition.
community spirit.
It's healthy and safe.
And fun.
I play for celebrations.
What's your reason? Join our team.
For White, breaks into the penalty area, 1-0 Olympic.
95 minutes in, and Sean
The ball right into a dangerous area, and the ball is in the back of the net.
Welcome back to Wakeley Park for this round 3 NPLW fixture between South United and the Gap. It's a stalemate at the moment in what's been a very fast-paced first half. Joining me tonight is Kerry Hammersley. Kerry, what did you make of the first 45?
Great game for the neutral. I think, as you said, it's difficult to identify who's got the winning edge at the moment. Quite scrappy, not managing to string too many passes together. But that's because there's pressure. As soon as someone gets the ball, there's lots of pressure, which makes it difficult to be able to string passes together. So hopefully we settle down into this second half. We're able to analyse some great passages of play.
Matches between these two teams are normally pretty tight. Tonight's been no exception so far, but perhaps as the second half wears on, the game might open up a little bit. So it's been a very busy Wakeley Park tonight with all the teams training around us. The men's side have seemed to have packed up for the evening. Still a couple of junior teams around the place. But, respectable Tuesday night crowd in attendance.
Such a mild evening. It's beautiful.
It's wonderful, isn't it? So the Gap Gators will have the ball for the second half.
Shout out to Tioni's parents that are watching the live stream, and they've thanked us for live streaming the game. It's great when you can watch your kids play sport. You can't get to all the games.
Daisy Kuipers, Total Tools referee, blows the whistle for the second half. Of course, saw the FFA Cup draw happen earlier today, around 3. Whole heap of fixtures there, so get on the Football Queensland website and check out who your local club is playing. Cross comes in from Rushton. We've got a player down. The referee will hold up play. Amy Chapman is the player on the deck. Looks like it might have been a head clash. Looks like she'll be okay to continue. We're going to have another drop ball. Possession just given straight back to Chappell. And looks to play on straight away. Pass a little bit short. Chance now for South to get forward. Play goes down. Referee Kuipers leaves the whistle in her hand. Brooke Goodrich was the player that went down. She's slowly getting up. And Tiffany Dibley, consider herself fortunate that she didn't give away a penalty. What did you make of that, Kerry?
Physical battle, not a lot in it to be honest, bit of a shoulder barge. What was nice to see was that Sean Freer just knocked the ball out of play there, showing great sportsmanship, checking that opposition player was okay.
Norrie uses the body well to protect the ball.
Seem to be playing the ball into the crowded areas where I need to just look up, look to play the ball to teammates that are in space.
Yes, we mentioned it just before the break that we thought that coaches might ask their players to spread out a little bit more in attack. Seems like they've gone the opposite way and requested that they compress things a little bit more. That touch by Chappell only finds Dooley. Gap are able to clear, looking to go quickly now. Miller. Dooley unable to retain possession. We've seen it so many times on this pitch. Kerry, they find teams that see a little bit of space and their eyes light up and they try and get a through ball in behind the defence.
Thread the needle.
Yes, but unfortunately the ball just runs on so quickly that all they succeed in doing is giving up possession or knocking the ball out of play.
I hear the Gap bit of inside information. The Gap prefer grass to synthetic. They like to slow it up a little bit, so I think South are in favour in that respect. They're used to playing on this surface.
Gap are traditionally a team that favour possession, like to retain the ball and pass it amongst all their players. Turnover here now for the Gap. This is Sian Fryer.
Oh, she's managed to get out the corner there.
Goes down again, no whistle. Referee Kuipers trying to let the game flow. A bit of afters there, and the first yellow card of the game. It's Anisha. Not Anisha Norrie, sorry. Can't quite work out who the player is. There we go. It's Brooke Goodrich. Earns herself a yellow card. A little break in play for the players to catch their breath after a frenetic first couple of minutes. Rushton wins the header. Goodrich throws the ball back into play. This is Rushton.
Nice,
She's got a little bit of space. Rushton goes down this time. No decision. It's trying to work out what's happened there. It looks like the assistant's called the penalty.
I think we've got a penalty.
A little bit of confusion here at Wakeley Park. Tiffany Dibley certainly questions the call. I make the decision. The assistant has made that call.
A little bit close to the action there, wasn't he?
So in the 52nd minute, an opportunity now for South United to take the lead. Amy Chapman's over the ball. Of course, former Brisbane Roar W League player. She's got plenty of experience. And Chapman puts a shot over the bar. Well, I cannot believe that, Kerry.
Not what I expected there. Bit of a surprise. Always difficult stepping up to take a penalty. You feel it for the players that miss.
And on the synthetic pitch, one would have thought that would be extremely difficult to do. It seemed harder to miss than it would be to hit. And there you have it. It's still 0-0.
Still 0-0. I really do hope I've not jinxed this game within the first 5 minutes.
As of course, you've took on the commentator's curse and said that there'd be plenty of goals in this game.
I can feel one. One's coming.
We've had no goals, but it's our first real instalment of drama. Had a few subplots. Well, that was a big moment. Will the Gap take advantage? Amy Chapman's going to have to call on her experience. Keep a level head and keep herself in the game. Absolutely flabbergasted by that miss, as I'm sure she is. As this long range attempt comes in!
Oh, great save.
Tapped onto the bar by Chloe Cole. Chloe Cole, one of the premier goalkeepers in this competition, showing all of her class and experience. Good long range attempt. Got caught a little bit off the line, but got back in time with a good leap. Was able to get a touch onto the bar. The Gap now have a corner. Rushton gets a touch to clear.
Can they get it back in a danger area?
Abbott gets a return pass. Looks to go straight down the middle.
More patient build-up forming here. Bit more space.
Fryer tries to go out the
Fryer
left.
ball.
Again, it's a very hard ball to win in this midfield. Blackburn with the deep cross, can't find Miller. And Goodrich clears. We're going to see a substitution here from Souths. Alex Hine is about to join the action. Louise Marmion's the player coming off. Early substitution here from South United. I think that's tactical. Kim Abbott is placing a pass. Turning over possession, but the Souths go and give it straight back. And Abbott will have another turn. Another turnover. Chapman in crossfield. Riccardi gets herself in the way. Under plenty of pressure from Dooley. This time the Gap will try and settle play down a bit. It's one thing that we both lamented at half-time, Kerry, that both these teams playing so quickly that they're just unable to string enough passes together.
That final ball seemed to be where we're giving possession away. They're getting there now. There's a steady build-up. We're starting to string those passes together, but that final ball's just letting us down.
This time clearance from Cole. Still in the danger area, but now Souths are able to clear. Strong win there from Norrie.
There, 3 against 2.
Chapman strays offside. A nice attempt on goal. Would have been a wonderful goal.
Wildy.
Certainly would have made the goals of the week. But we could see from our position that she was comfortably offside, probably 1 or 2 yards.
Well, that might have been the outside of the boot there, Darren.
It was a little bit special. Any fears that we had of her losing her confidence after missing that penalty, I think evaporated in that moment. Rushton having to wait for that ball to come near her. So still 0-0 here at Wakeley Park. South United with the penalty miss.
Great to see some junior girls watching the role models in action. All lined up along the fence there, supporting their team.
Riccardi trying to bring the ball forward. It's controlled by Blackburn. Don't see that too often. So yes, of course, this game being played on Tuesday night, because on Sunday night, this game with which this game was originally scheduled, the Matildas were playing. And Kerry, you were at that game. What did you think?
I was, unfortunately, I didn't get to see much of the action. I was involved in the half-time heroes, so I was helping get that organised, and I was out at the start doing an activation. So although I loved the experience and being part of it, I didn't really get to see too much of the Matildas in action.
It's one of the great things about working for Football Queensland, hey Kerry. You get to go to all the big games, but you don't get to see any of the play.
Oh, the best bit about that for me was just giving the kids an experience of a lifetime. Just the joy on their faces and the excitement. It's just so amazing to be a part of.
I think one of the reasons why the Matildas are so dear to our hearts is that the players are so generous with their time. Was that your experience?
Oh, they are. I know many players stay behind at the end, and the Matildas were there signing T-shirts, connecting with them.
Saw a wonderful video this morning of Claire Polkinghorne and giving a little bit back to her supporters.
That would be Harper McGowan, Lee McGowan's daughter there. She's part of the Raw Corps, and they've taken her under their wing, and she goes to all the games and supports. And #1 fan, I think, of Claire Polkinghorne. It's just so great to see Harper's emotion in the video there, and how important role models are for our young players.
Good opportunity here for South. Crossfield ball from Rushton. Dooley called offside. Well, that was a lovely sweeping move there from United. Committing numbers forward. The Gap playing with a 3-player defensive line. They got caught out there. And of course with South United playing a 3-player forward line.
Makes them quite vulnerable at the back. It's always nice to have that one extra.
The overload was created, but perhaps Rushton could have maintained possession just a little bit longer, taken an extra touch. I applaud her for the one-touch effort. Here they come again. This time they've got 4 players in attack.
Great ball.
Lovely crossfield ball, looking for Norrie. Gap players scrambling across. Hoyne.
It's great to see, just from being above here, having a bit of a bird's eye view, just the off-ball movement and the runs that are not only created with the ball, but the runs that are created without the ball. So are we creating that space for our teammates to come through?
Miller. Good ball for Doro. Unfortunately, not enough Gap players able to make the run. Dooley. Again, the offside flag goes up. Well, it must have been a very tight call. South bench blew up. It certainly looked okay to me, but the assistant in the best position.
Momentum's certainly building for Souths at the moment. Started the second half there, and I was thinking that the Gap had the edge and started to look more composed on the ball, but now I'm favouring South. I can feel a goal coming.
They're looking a little bit more fluid. Looking a little bit more fluid in attack, aren't they?
They are.
Running forward in packs.
Attacking as a unit. Here we go, the 3 again.
Here we go again.
3v3.
A long range attempt. Tried to catch Chappell offside. Chappell had to be very sharp on her feet. Did just enough to see the ball out of play. Real energy coming into this game now. It was a scrappy first half, but it's seeing a little bit more flow now. Great to see. Round 3, NPLW action. Wakeley Park. Tuesday night football. As the corner comes in. Plenty of numbers in the box to clear. Norrie trying to work a shot. Is unable to do so. Fryer. Goes backward. This is Sean Fryer. I thought she'd won the throw there. Referee Kuipers thought otherwise. Gap have got another throw. Looks like it's a free kick. Doro's going to be standing over. Gap again committing plenty of numbers forward.
Well, there's a little pause here. It's a great opportunity to mention that IFCA also welcomes Craig Foster to the Indigenous Football Panel on the 25th and 26th of May. So some top names joining the panel at the IFCA Football Coaching Conference.
Is that future Australian of the Year, Craig Foster?
It is, yes.
You heard it here first. Great to see him following up Sam Kerr as to win Australia's greatest honour. The shot comes in, it's in the back of the net! And from out of nowhere, the Gap take the lead. Sarah Miller latches onto a loose ball.
Be interesting to see now how Souths respond to that. Bit of a shake-up, 1-0 down, about 10 minutes into the second half.
Well, the goal came from nothing. Sarah Miller, Johnny on the spot. Sneaking the ball past Cole. And defenders who've had every answer so far this evening. Just caught napping.
That's all it takes.
And in the 65th minute, the visitors have the lead. Sarah Miller was a...
Great turn there.
I wouldn't say she was a bit part player last year, but she was certainly a squad player. Did a lot of work off the bench. Looking to make forward position her own this season. She always impressed me every time that she did make an appearance on the field. She looks a little bit taller this year. And there we go. You finally have your goal, Kerry.
It's always nice to see a game where there's goals. Plural there. So we might see a few more, do you think?
Again, not for me to say. Dibley.
Linking to get his play
Fryer.
out. Around a player. Acceleration.
Fryer getting past
She got the
Hine.
support she's looking for.
Hine getting an arm across. It's the typical aggressive play that we're used to from Alex Hine. And it's a red card! Well, Sean Fryer must have said something. And the gap are now down to 10 players. With just over 20 minutes left in this game. Well, could that be a turning point? Alex Hine's a very physical defender. It's a notable part of her play. Very physical, and she certainly got an arm across Fryer. Brought her down. It must have been something that Fryer said. Drew the eye of Total Tools referee Daisy Kuipers.
The cards didn't come out of the pocket straight away, so I suggest your prediction's right, but I'm sure we'll hear.
I have to say, when I first saw it, Kerry, I thought it was an orange card. The colour of the card just doesn't look very red.
It doesn't, does it?
I thought there was a new rule this season, last season in the Football Brisbane competitions, that you'd get an orange card meant 10 minutes in the bin. The offside flag goes up. But now the Gap have got some work to do. 20 minutes left to go in this game.
It's going to be very tiring.
This game's been at a frenetic pace.
Test their stamina now, down to 10, 20 minutes to go, 1-0 up.
Here they come forward now. This is Lainey Fryer. That ball seemed to evade everyone trying to get in the path. Rushton trying to work past Dibley. Goes with the nutmeg. And he sees the ball out of play. Abbott. Doro. Back now for Rushton. He's infield looking for Murphy. We can only find Blackburn. With Blackburn showing all of her experience, just slowing the play down. Other players would have looked for a quick pass.
See that they're a lot more patient now. They've got that 1-0 lead. Just spraying the ball around, trying to tire out Souths.
Cole has to clear. So I wonder if that red card's going to influence Gary French's thinking with the substitutes bench. He's got Amy Morland, who's scored already this season. Interesting to see if he does try and Try a few more attacking options. Might wait another few more minutes and see how the play develops. Cole again with the long clearance. Dooley.
Everyone's backing away from the 50-50 challenges.
Well, side flag goes up against Rushton, I believe. Came back from an offside position to get that possession. Dibley goes across field. Riccardi got there just in time. Manages to stay in play. Miller almost with an interception. It comes across for Hine.
Pinpoint pass there.
Didn't quite find Chapman. Just a reminder, I'll be interviewing both coaches after this game. You can see those interviews live on the Funny Old Game Facebook page. I expect we'll have some very interesting comments after that red card decision, particularly from Gary Ward. Looking forward to having a chat to him for the first time. Also Gary French, and finding out what he's been up to in the off-season. As the Gap look to make a substitution. Liz Doherty's about to come on.
In celebration of Female Football Week, we've got some coach education courses all over the state this weekend. If you jump on the Football Queensland website, you'll find the venues and the times available there. It'd be great to see as many of you there as possible.
Lane Sunderland is the player that's come off. And Liz Doherty, who converted last season from a defensive midfielder into a central defender. As part of that outstanding defence that the Gap were able to maintain last year. They conceded very few goals in the second half of last year. I think it was maybe 3 goals in the last 12 games. And even there, I think I might be being a bit generous on the goal scoring side.
Straight away, she's entered the field of play. She's directing the defence. She's communicating. She's using arm signals. So real confidence.
Former Olympic player, of course. She was the captain of that team.
Looks like she's got a bit of a band around her right knee. Is she carrying an injury?
Throw-in not properly dealt with. Chappell comes out. Going again with a strong challenge on Miller. Chapman looks to go cross field. Amber Sims just made the move from Capalaba last season. Blackburn with the cutout, finding Miller. And a strong challenge there from Murphy. It's back possession for Souths. Again, more strong challenges as Rushton and Doro are going at it. Certainly plenty of feeling on the line tonight. Norrie.
Attacking the space there. No support on the right wing.
Throw comes back for Dibley.
Well, we start to notice that they've only got the 10.
Dibley again. Going deep. Cross cut out by the South defence. South are about to make another substitution. Hannah Lane's about to come on.
A few tactical changes.
Michaela Dooley is the player coming off. Deep throw goes into the box. He's going to come away with possession. This is Doro. Did cross him. There's only green and white shirts. And South look to go. Good defensive work there by the Gap. Just barricading players out of the way. They look to go on the attack themselves. Cole. Wasn't clean, but she did enough. Which players have impressed you so far tonight, Kerry?
It's been quite difficult to call, to be honest. I think I've spoke of a fair bit there, but I think Tioni Rushton, in terms of match fitness, she's given a lot from start right up to now. Again, both teams defensively seem quite composed at the back. So I think as a unit, definitely the defence. I think lacking a little bit of our final ball seems to be letting us down, whether that's composure in front of goal. There's a bit of panic that sets in and we're just rushing rather than waiting until there's a clear option. What about yourself, Darren? Who stood out to you tonight?
It's more been a case of who players that you would expect to stand out that haven't. There've been a lot of stars in both of these teams, and none of them have really taken this game by the scruff of the neck. So it's been the bit part players that, or the squad players that have stepped up tonight.
Yep. Maybe a few bit of tiredness out there, being on a work night. Most rushed here, a few quite late into the changing rooms, obviously coming in from work. Not as fresh as what they would be at the weekends. It's always nice to play under the lights though, isn't it? Creates that atmosphere.
Particularly in these conditions. It's a perfect night for football here at Wakeley Park. So just over 10 minutes to go. It's the visitors' Gap, the Gap, with a 1-goal lead. They're down to 10 players. Deshaun Fry got a red card from out of nowhere. I believe it was for dissent. Rushton and Dibley, that battle has raged in this second half. And the Gap look to make another substitution.
Fresh legs are welcomed at this time during a game.
Lauren Butler's coming on.
Just over 20 minutes to go. Looks like they're changing the formation as well there.
Chloe Robertson is the player that's being substituted. Good to see Lauren Butler back on the field.
Playing it out, trying to hit targets rather than just hitting a hope. Ball carriers don't seem to have much support around them when they're on the ball.
Here's Ruth Blackburn with a rare run forward. Just went for the early cross, sits up.
Nearly 2-0.
Still there for the Gap, and they've got a second! How did that ball stay out?
Hit the post. Goodness me.
Another opportunity over the top of the bar.
Oh, a bit of excitement there, that's good.
Well, I thought for sure the Gap had their second goal.
Keeper was in the right place at the right time. I thought that second one had gone in the follow-up, but the post saved the day.
And still it remains 1-0.
Can we create
Doro
something here?
gets us outside Goodrich.
Outnumbered.
Another good cross,
Great
just
ball.
out of reach of Miller.
She did well to find her there. They were certainly outnumbered, the gap. Can feel a bit more energy back now. Almost a goal.
South giving possession straight back to the gap. Doro with another run. Cut out by Goodrich. Chapman goes over, earns a free kick. Doherty the offender. The gap just looked to slow things down.
Got 4 at the back again. Playing 1 up front. They obviously recognise that they looked quite vulnerable at the back just having the 3, so they've dropped another one back.
Yeah, it's a good spot, Kerry.
I think that's much safer bet being 1-0 up.
I still can't believe that ball didn't go into the back of the net, Kerry.
I was enjoying watching you celebrate.
I did say that I'm getting my eyes tested this weekend, but I didn't think my vision was that bad. Another yellow card comes out, perhaps for time wasting. I believe Kim Abbott's the player that's earned that. South players thought the decision had been reversed. So they all streamed forward. Well, it was a scrappy first half, but some of that has been maintained in the second. But in between the scraps, I've seen a few moments of flowing football.
We have indeed. And I think it's that final ball now.
It's Letha Doro. It's been an absolute workhorse for her team this evening. Trying to get around Goodrich. Goodrich with a good challenge. Gap now have a corner. This is just what the Gators need. Ability to slow play down.
Just leaving one back on Amy Chapman.
Ball dropped by Cole.
Just there by Liz Doherty.
Another clearance.
Sense a bit of frustration kicking in.
I think Liz Doherty's blown up for what was a push. I think Norrie was the offending player. Referee Kuipers didn't have much to do in the first half. She's had plenty to do in the second. A couple of penalty decisions to decide upon. And it's another red card. Well, it's now 10 on 10. Aisha Norrie gets her marching orders. She can't believe it. Her teammates can't believe it. And that advantage that the gap that South United had has just evaporated. They're now a goal down. And we're back to 10 on 10. I think even the gap players can't believe that decision. Well, plenty of drama here at Wakeley Park on Tuesday night football. Aisha Norrie follows Lainey Fryer off the field. With just under 10 minutes to go, it's now 10 on 10. Referee Kuipers really needs to settle things down here. This does have, well, it's a powder keg situation, isn't it, now? It's the desperation of those South players.
It's amazing that in the last few minutes of a game, either team always manages to find that extra bit of energy. So perhaps if they thought it was the last 2 minutes now, they might have that energy that they need to just be able to get a ball in the back of the net. Still a fair bit of time left.
This is Miller. Miller's got Fryer in the box. Again, Hine strong in the challenge. Referee Kuipers is over to just settle things down. Touch from Rushton.
Nice turn inside there. Knew exactly what she was doing as soon as she received the ball. Scanned, was aware where her opposition player was.
Murphy leaps high. And Hine got lucky there. She almost gave it up to Miller.
Very static now. Let's support the player on the ball.
You're right there, Kerry. Play looks a little bit rushed there from Souths. They just need to get their structure right. I think they committed probably too many players forward as the offside flag goes up.
Nice idea.
Lovely touch from Dibley. Murphy goes straight down the middle to find Doherty. Miller.
Nice little overlap.
Touch is too strong for Doro. Rushton's pulled up lame after that moment of play.
Lots of time and space.
Doherty gives the ball to Hine. Goes out wide. Again, South's giving up possession. Souths just need that little moment of quality. The gap, they just need to play smart football for the next 5+ minutes. Miller gets her back to goal. Finds Fryer. Will she take on the shot? Tries to get around one, tries to get around two. South looking to go quickly now. It's 4-on-1. Long range attempt. Just wide. Just wide.
Thought that was the equaliser right there. First time shot on her left foot.
A great attempt. Try to catch Chappell off guard. The player stayed down there. Just trying to work out who that player is. It might be Hannah Lane.
Welcome drinks.
Yeah, so a good opportunity for both teams to just catch their breath, get themselves set. Once play commences again, we'll only have a few minutes of injury time, which there could be up to 5 minutes. Gary French has a substitute ready, his third and final. Lane was the player that's down. Back on her feet. Chappell brings the ball straight back into play. South, let's come forward again.
Good pace.
And from out of nowhere, South now have a set piece opportunity. South are throwing everything at this. They're just one player back.
Hannah Lane stepping up to take the free kick there.
South United looking for just that one moment of quality. The ball straight into the middle of the box. Hind leapt high. Gap players did enough. This is Miller. Good smart play here from the Gap.
Keeping that ball.
It's 10 on 10 now, which means there's plenty of space out there. Doherty goes long. It's controlled by Stevens. She gets back. Murphy helps out. He sees the ball out of play. Good pressure there from the Gators.
Lots of physical battles all over the park.
So almost at the 90. And Gap Gators 1, South United 0. This is 10 on 10. Of course, South United missed a penalty.
Great switch. Lots of space there. Can she move forward?
Chapman in plenty of space, but she's miscontrolled.
First touch let her down.
McCarty sees the ball out of play. We'll bring it back in, just going down the line.
I must say I've thoroughly enjoyed my first experience commentating with you, Darren.
It's been a pleasure to have you on board, Kerry.
And a great week to do it as well during Female Football Week. I think we say our best learning takes place just outside of our comfort zone. But it's certainly been a great experience. Love to be part of it.
The players have certainly put on a show this evening. Could we have last sting in the tail? Rushton with a good cross.
Ball.
Collected well by Chappell. Well, that ball was fizzed across the face of goal. At a perfect height for Chapman, but she just couldn't get there in time. We don't know how much injury time there is. I expect there would be at least 3 minutes. All substitutes have been used. We've had 2 red cards. A couple of stoppages, a couple of injuries. Chapman finds Rushton.
2 players running towards the back post.
South players not with the legs to get in the good positions. And Rushton with a little bit of tiredness. This puts the ball out of play.
Few tired legs out there now, I imagine.
Yes, a few hands on hips. The Gap just need to be clever, show all their experience. They're a team that's used to winning.
Lots of things.
Chapel goes long, chip over the top. Chance now for Miller.
Well out.
Good work by Hoyne. Just got her body in the right position to prevent Miller from shooting. The Gap have a corner. They will be in no hurry to take it. Next 3 games for these teams. Souths have the bye after tonight. They then have Capalaba at home and then Gold Coast United away. The Gap have got the Southwest Queensland Thunder at home, Western Pride at home, and then a bye. Ball punched away by Cole. Lane wins possession, but it's too late. And Tuesday night football brought the fireworks. A scrappy first half. Saw the players go into the break, half time at 0-0. But in the second half, the game came to life. Penalty missed by Amy Chapman. Then we saw one of the Fryer twins get red carded. That was Lane Fryer. Then a few minutes later, in a second incident, South United lost a player. And the Gap did everything to hold on, and they've come away with the 3 points. It's the Gap 1, South United 0. Kerry Hammersley, thank you for your company this evening. It's been great to have you on board. And plenty of still happening in Female Football Week.
There is lots of celebrations ahead around the state. Gala days, come and try days, coaching courses. So get around it. And if you're celebrating Female Football Week, please send us your pictures and videos. We'd love to see them. Thanks for having me.
You're most very welcome. We'll hope we'll have you in a couple more times this season. I'm Darren Lutton. Thank you very much for tuning in this evening. On behalf of Albin John, our producer at Double Take, and also the camera operator, this Sunday we will be at Coplick Family Sports Park to bring you the match between Gold Coast United and Logan. That should be a cracker. We'll see you then. Until then, enjoy your football. Yeah, the girls.